There exists in the world ethoses of various flavors, beliefs that range from pious Christianity to religious fanaticism. And I think it's fair to say that most people in the world exist somewhere between these two spectrums. And what you find with most people is that their ethos is one thing, and how they live out their lives in reality is oftentimes something completely different. You don't have to look very hard to find this to be true. All you have to do is ask them, and they will tell you exactly what their belief is, and they will also articulate to you the discrepancy between what they believe and what their reality is. But why is there typically a discrepancy in the first place? That's the question that we should all be asking ourselves. Why is it that people rarely live up to their beliefs? I have examined myself in search of the answer to this question. I've lived a majority of my childhood and early adult life in adolescence, gravitating towards the short-term gratification items of the moment. And let's say at the age of 19 you were to ask me, what do you believe in, Ryan? And I would have given you a highly detailed answer that approximated something that looked very close to Christianity. However, if you examined my life closely, you would not remotely even see one thing that resembled Christianity or that ethos. I wasn't the only person that I knew that was this way. Almost all of my friends lived this way as well. We put on the mask of Christianity for the public masses, but then when the lights go out and the doors close, we slink away into the things that pleases only us and not God. But I did have one friend that was a shining light to me in that dark part of my life that taught me how to think. He proved that one could make the decision to live righteously if we truly wanted it. My friend's name was Richard, and he always said, Ryan, people have as much God as they want. And it rings over and over in my head. The more I think about it, the more I realize that this sentence, this one statement, has so much substance to unpack. But the substance of this statement is that you can choose good over evil. You can live up to your ethos. You can repent. You can change your mind. But you have to truly want it. Jesus tells us, if you seek me, I shall be found of you. This is when belief becomes reality. The rubber meets the road, so to speak. Jesus gave many examples that articulated God's laws in a very practical, real way. And in the absence of that physical practicality, it becomes nothingness in the end. It produces no fruit. This is why Jesus said that you have to bear fruit. An ethos that lies dormant in you, or that resides only in one's mind, is useless. It's of none effect if it never demonstrates love, care, compassion, charity, and servitude. But it takes time to think these things out. This is the part that many of us fail to do. Sit down and take the time to consider, why do you believe the way you do? And work it out for yourself. Where oftentimes we sit down to read the Bible and view it as a list of do's and don'ts, or the gate that prevents you from your pleasures. But here's the thing. It takes time to think these things out. And this is the part that most of us always fail to do, because life is fast, and the faster life becomes, is the more it whittles away from you. the more discipline whittles away from you. The older you get, the less likely you are to change your mind or discipline yourself. But you can still do it, even if you're 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus. You can still do it, because we all have the spark of divinity residing in us. We were all created in the image of God. But sit down and take time to consider, what do you believe in? And why do you believe the way you do? And work it out for yourself. Don't go to somebody else. Work it out for yourself. We have the technology, we have the resources, and even if you don't own a computer, which in this day and age, very few people don't own a computer, but you can go to a library. You have the resources at your disposal. So please do yourself a favor. Don't make excuses when it comes to answering this very critical question that could change the trajectory of your entire life. This is what I did. I asked myself these two questions. Why do I believe the way I do? Is it because somebody told me to? Or do I believe this way because it's the objective truth? If the answer to the first question is it's because somebody told me to, then that's not good enough. So you must truly figure this out for yourself, the reason why you believe the way you do. And if the answer to the latter question is, well, I believe this way because it's the objective truth. Okay. Well, why is it the objective truth? And can you prove it? Can you articulate it to someone who doesn't know anything about it? Or even can you articulate it to someone who does maybe know something about it, but can show evidence, proof for your belief? And does that articulation satisfy the facts? Or are you simply regurgitating the theological tropes that you've been taught over the years of your development? We owe it to God to offer ourselves up to Him in truth. And in order to do that, you have to get by yourself, pray, and think. Stop believing everything you're simply told. Prove it to yourself. And find God. This is what Jesus meant when He said, knock and it shall be opened to you, and ask and you shall receive. But here's the thing, many people say that they are knocking, but not very many people stay and wait until the door opens. They approach the door and they knock in a shallow way, and they stand in trepidation, and when nobody comes to the door, they walk away. Because in their hearts they know that they don't really want that door to open. But those who really want that door to open, to see what's on the other side, inviting them in to freedom and inviting them in to truth, those are the ones that will change. And those people are sadly few. But if you don't turn off the screens long enough to think for yourself, then you'll always be a slave to the world system. And quite frankly, you'll always be a slave to the devil and to your own hedonistic desires. So stop, take some time, write down what's on your mind, articulate it back to yourself, and ask yourself, is this the truth? And do the scriptures support it? So think.